So, is the Thunderobot Storm 17 actually worth it for someone who wants a solid gaming laptop without blowing the budget? I've been testing it for a few weeks, and I think I've figured out who will get the most out of it. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the performance side is pretty straightforward. With a 13th Gen Intel i7-13620H and an RTX 4050, you're getting enough horsepower to push most current AAA titles past 60 frames per second at 1080p, and that's without turning the whole thing into a heat ray. The 32GB of DDR5 RAM means you can keep a dozen browser tabs open, stream music, run a voice chat, and still have room for the game itself without any noticeable slowdowns. For anyone who mixes work and play, say, a freelancer who needs a fast machine for video editing during the day and a smooth gaming session at night, the 1TB SSD is a sweet spot. You'll have enough space for large game installs, project files, and a solid backup routine, and the drive's read speeds shave a few seconds off load times that you can actually feel when you jump into a new map. Now, let's talk about the screen. A 17.3-inch FHD panel with a 144Hz refresh rate gives you that buttery smooth motion you expect from a dedicated gaming display, but it's also big enough to act as a decent productivity monitor. I've been using it for both competitive shooters and more cinematic RPGs, and the extra screen real estate lets you keep your HUD visible while also pulling up a map or inventory without feeling cramped. The colors are accurate enough for photo editing work, so if you're a creator who needs a decent visual reference, the laptop won't let you down. Plus, the anti-glare coating helps when you're gaming in a bright room, which is a small but noticeable comfort upgrade over many glossy panels. Thermal management is where many laptops stumble, but the Storm 17 leans on a wind-driven cooling system that actually moves air across the GPU and CPU efficiently. When I cranked up the settings in Cyberpunk 2077 for a couple of hours, the fan sped up, but the laptop stayed under 85 degrees Celsius, and the noise level stayed in the background rather than screaming. That makes it practical for longer gaming marathons or for using the machine in a small apartment where you don't want a noisy fan to dominate the soundtrack. The Wi-Fi 6 module and the HDMI 2.1 port also give you reliable connectivity for both online matches and hooking up to a 4K TV for couch co-op, which is handy if you occasionally want to turn the laptop into a living room console. The keyboard might sound like a small detail, but the RGB backlighting is actually adjustable per zone, so you can set the WASD keys to a soft blue while keeping the rest dimmed for late-night sessions without hurting your eyes. The key travel feels solid enough for both fast typists and those who need precision in games that require rapid key presses. The chassis is built to look like a traditional gaming laptop, sharp lines, a brushed metal finish, so it stands out on a desk but doesn't scream gamer in a coffee shop. Battery life, of course, isn't a primary sell point for a machine this focused, but you'll still get around 5 to 6 hours of mixed usage, which is decent if you need to grab a quick bite between matches. Overall, the Thunderobot Storm 17 feels like a well-rounded package. The pros are the strong CPU-GPU combo that handles modern titles comfortably, the generous 32GB of RAM plus a spacious SSD that makes multitasking painless, and the cooling system that keeps temperatures in check without becoming a noise nuisance. On the downside, the laptop's weight, just over 5 pounds, means it's not the most portable option if you travel frequently, and the speakers are modest, so you'll probably want a headset for an immersive audio experience. If those 2 points aren't deal breakers for you, the laptop offers a dependable mix of power and usability. That's it for my look at the Storm 17. If you think it matches what you're after, the link is below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.